Living in a fast paced world with over 8 billion people, it's very easy to be overlooked, undermined, trampled on, and pushed aside. My name is Mowa.mi, and I'm really passionate about helping you feel seen. I really hope that this podcast and every episode that comes your way reminds you that you are truly one in a million.
Hi guys, how are you? What's up? What's popping? Good morning or good afternoon, depending on whatever time you're tuning in to this wonderful podcast. I'm super excited to have you in today's episode. This is like the last episode before we start our 30 days of Christmas, 30 days of Christmas, and my excitement is up the roof. Anywho, um, so to share one final. I was about to go all wisdom on you, but there's something I wanted to share even as the year begins to wrap up. The importance of gathering your mind. That's what I call it. Gather your mind. This is the gather your mind episode, and why do I want to tell you to gather your mind? First and foremost, we're in November. Hmm? At this point, you begin to see a lot of people posting how much they've achieved this year, how much they've been able to do, how much they've been able to amass, how much fun they've been able to have this year. And if especially if the last 2-3 months have not felt that way, not it has not been, it has not felt that way for you, then it begins to get to you a little bit. And even if not is getting to you, you're an odogu, you're bokripo, anything like that. I think it's important to gather your mind, gather your thoughts, so that you'll be able to document how much progress you've made, how much you've slacked for certain projects, and be able to know what you're gonna do moving forward. Um, they used to say back then when I was in primary school, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I did not understand the gravity of that statement too much later. And I believe it still holds water. It's still very valid, very true. If you do not, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I believe it's still true to a certain extent. So gathering your mind in this aspect, in this breath, is not just for work related stuff, achievements. It's for your emotional health. It's for your financial capability. If you want to track income, expenditure, how much you made this year, how much you wanted to make, how much you saved. Do you get your relationships is like taking account of what has happened, and it's not just for the good stuff in quotes, it's also for the seemingly not so great stuff. It's for the ugly stuff. It's for how much you're not able to handle some things well. All right, and gathering your mind can look like meditation, can look like opening your journal, it can look like writing things down, it can look like a conversation with someone. So you can call up a friend and be like, oh, how far? And then you get talking like, so what do you think about this year, for the past few months? What are your thoughts? Do you get that? That's what gathering your mind looks like. He who must build must be able to count the cost, and if we must continue to strive for excellence and advancement in every area of our life, we must count the cost. That's what I'm saying. You have to gather your mind, gather everything, gather your mind, my darling, gather your mind. It might be scary because I realized that there was a time I used to say, oh no, I don't do such, I don't do such. And it wasn't till I was like, girl, why don't you do such? I had to question myself, and I was like, it's because I'm scared that I'm going to see myself for who I truly am. You are a failure. You can never make it. That's what I was telling myself in my mind. Do you get? And I was scared to see myself for who I truly was. But Like Pastor Lajo Irian would say, the fact that you got burnt while cooking doesn't mean you shouldn't cook again. Alright? So the fact that you might not be as great as you want to think you are doesn't mean that you should not still look at yourself in the mirror, because I mean, there's something I would always say: who is on the ground fears no fall. You can't shame the shameless. If you're already looking at yourself in the mirror and you already say, oh, there's this mark on my face, there's nothing someone will come and tell me about that mark that'll make me feel less of a person, because I already know it's there. It's like shooting yourself in the foot first, not in the line of self-condemnation, but you know what is on ground. That way, whatever you are receiving as criticism or commendation, um would not swing you from one end of the pendulum to another. You're seeing with a clear eye. So if somebody's criticizing you, you are able to pick out what the person is saying. You're able to pick out the criticism aside their personal preference. Because I realize a lot of times when people give advice, give criticism, give commendation, they also add their personal, their 2% of self. That's what I like to call it, their 2%. They like to add their 2% in it, so you're able to filter. That's why it's important that you gather your mind. Also, I believe that there's a level of mental tenacity that is needed in the coming days. Um, like my mother will always say, it will not get any easier. And I'm not saying it in a spiteful way. I'm saying the circumstances that would make for productivity will not always be there. It would get tighter. You get busier. You're getting older. The world is changing. It will not be. It will not always be comfortable. So, like our real estate people always say, the best time to buy a house was yesterday. The second best time is now. Or is it, yes, or to buy a land? The best time to buy a land was yesterday. The second best time is now. And I hope I've not lost my thought. No. So I was saying that there's a mental tenacity that is required in the coming days, and that is why it is necessary for you to gather your thoughts. Also, so that you can be thankful, you can give thanks, gratitude, and prayers. Gratitude. Yes, gratitude is necessary because it just helps you feel lighter. When you're able to gather your thoughts and write down, oh, this and this and this, you're able to understand, you're able to be aware of what has happened. It will help you to be grateful for the things you got right and the things you did not get right that helped you see a better way of doing stuff. You get? So either way, it's a win-win situation. Whether you failed or you, I won't say whether you failed or you got it right, there's an opportunity for you to learn and improve. So that is why I'm pleading with you. Ejah, please, I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to gather your mind. Gather your mind. I believe with that being said, you take out the time to document, have a conversation with a friend, take a walk, meditate, and pray. Very important. And do all the things rather that help you gather your thoughts, that help you reflect. All right. I'll see you in the next episode, which will be 30 days of Christmas. See you on social media, in our forums. See you in the DMs, comment section, and that's all for now. Signing out. Bye.